internet. Varnell's behind the camera again. And we're going to do a brief apex barrel test. I know we said we were going to get one, so today's the day. We got the target that we've been shooting at downrange at 120 feet. Okay, that's going to be our starting distance, and we're going to move it back from there. At this point, 120 feet is just going to be how many shots I can place in center mass. As you've seen from the normal barrel test, the shots were all over the place. Now, we were testing this just a little bit earlier so I can get it dialed in. Shots were hitting consistently in the center mass at 120 feet. So this is with the Apex barrel on my AGD Tac-One with the Flasc Barrel 687 bore Apex tip. I have the dial set to the center, which the operation of the Apex, it moves a ramp on the inside. The more you have it move to the top, the more the ramp puts backspin on the ball, which creates the ball to go further. Apex can also do trick shots. Trick shots meaning you move it each way, and depending on the move, if you do it this way, the ball's going to purposely hook to go around things if you do it left or right. Now, if you do it upside down, the ball's going to dive bomb. It's just going to go in an arc so you can hit people behind bunkers. I personally eliminated like 3 or 4 people this way. It's really cool and they don't expect it. But now if you just turn the dial off like that, you're just shooting the barrel. Apex is just guiding the ball out. You're using the barrel, but with the ramp on and turning the dial on, you're actually using the Apex. Now you guys got to make sure that when you're shooting and you have the dial on, that this is straight. This is pointing straight, because if you move it just slightly, you're gonna have a crooked shot, not on purpose. So you got to make sure that's where you want it straight. You can use this little notch here to make sure of that. And if you find that your Apex is turning really easy, there's the 4 screws there that you can always tighten, but you don't want to tighten them too much because then you can strip it out and then you'll have to buy new shells. But let me go ahead and we're going to shoot the 120 right now, see what results we get. Now, anything beyond 120 is just going to be, can we hit the target at that range? It's not accuracy, anything like that. It's just going to be, can we hit the target? So we'll do a couple shots at 120 and see what we get. Give me a few shots to dial her in here. Good to go. Okay, 120 feet. I took a lot of rounds down here. I was trying to mix it up, shoot a little faster, shoot a little slower. We did count. We doubled the amount of shots in center mass in this area here. Of course, a couple of the other shots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hit right center. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, left center. A couple high up shots, and a lot down low here. So, I mean, at 120 feet, center mass shots, I pretty much doubled it from just a normal barrel. And that's with the dial set halfway up. So remember, when you are using the Apex, like I said, variation in the Apex head will cause it to do weird things. I did adjust the head a little bit there. I probably shouldn't have touched it because it was on par, but that's all right. We're going to move it back probably to about 200 feet here, just see how many we can get on target. All right, this is about 250 feet. You want to look at the target all the way down there. Say hello. Now keep in mind, at this distance, you're barely going to be able to get someone out. If you get it to break on target, you're lucky. At this distance, you're suppressing. You're using suppressive fire. Okay. Another thing to keep in mind when you have it on full dial, you have to arc the barrel a little bit because the ball is going to dip and then it's going to soar out. So I'm just going to empty what's left of this Q pod, probably 10 or so shots, and we'll see what we can do. Now you got to keep in mind, I'm going to stop right here and just say that the Q pod's empty anyway. Two things to keep in mind when you're using the Apex barrel at this distance. One, I have clear line of sight. Okay, when you're in the woods, you're not going to have clear line of sight, or at least you're not typically going to have clear line of sight. That's a really hard target. You're going to be shooting at a person. I mean, you'll be hitting the bunker, or a tree, or something they're behind. Windage. If it's windy, that's also going to play into the ball at this distance, because the farther you go out, the less force you have behind the ball. Remember, this is not a first strike. This is not a first strike round. We'll do a test of the first strike here soon. First strike's pretty accurate at that range right there. But with the Apex, like I said, you're just using a normal paintball. You do have windage to take in effect. You have clear line of sight to take in effect. And let's go down and let's see what we got. I did shoot a couple times prior, but like I said, it's somewhat, I mean, there's a breeze coming through here every now and then. You can see in the trees, and we actually moved it out from the back of the building here, so that the wind is hitting it as we're shooting. And of course, at 300 feet, if I were to move this back another 50 feet, we did a previous test when the Apex first came out. Out of about 20 shots, I was the human target. Out of about 20 shots, I got hit once, and it didn't break at that range. There was a couple zingers that went by me, but other than that, you're not gonna have much luck at 300. It'll shoot it if you want to suppress people down, but don't expect too much. Now, like I said, I did take a lot of shots beforehand just to see what it'll do. I did get looks like it's either 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So out of about 50 shots, 9 were actually center mass. Okay, at 250 feet. Of course, you got, like I said, the Apex you got to play around with, because all the stuff takes an effect at this distance. You have all these shots hitting low, which is still, at this distance, if you're shooting from down there and you're suppressing people, that's going to scare the crap out of them when they're getting paint, flung at them from that distance. They're not going to know what to do.
Also, the good thing about that is if they don't have an Apex, they can't even get close to you.
Exactly. So you're well about 200 or so feet, with the advantage in this, because they're not going to be able to shoot that. We just proved that a normal 9-inch barrel with a 3-inch extension can barely hit 120 feet. So being able to hit center mass at 250 feet, that says something. And we have, of course, the shots up here. All those shots. We were kind of gauging this here as our headshot board, but it didn't really get hit at all. We were just shooting center mass today. Couple shots, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hit left center. 1, 2, 3, 4 hit right center. 3 hit top headshot, or right headshot. None hit left headshot. None hit center headshot. And then ones that just flew right over it. And we got plenty hits on the bottom there. Probably a good majority of our hits were on the bottom. But the point of the Apex at this range is suppressive fire. But you could also see at 120 feet, you're gonna put a lot more rounds on target there as you would with the normal barrel. Now, Apex versus Flatline, I've used both. Did not like the Flatline. Flatline is very picky on paint. Its maximum shooting distance is 250 feet. Okay, the Apex's max distance is 300 feet. Now, again, at that distance, you've got a lot to play into things, windage and everything. But the Flatline, like I said, is very, very picky on paint. Apex is not. The Apex can be put on multiple barrels: Flasc, Lapco, J&J. The default Apex barrel that is sent, many different marker types can have the Apex. You know, Cocker Thread, Spider, A5, 98, Ion. You name it, it's got a barrel thread for it. And now that you can put it on different types of barrels, like Lapco, you can increase your accuracy. Flasc, you can increase your accuracy with all that. So there's so many more advantages to the Apex barrel as opposed to the Flatline barrel. Our pick is the Apex barrel. I use the Flatline on both the A5 and the 98 Custom. Did not like either of them. If you get a ball break, it's a pain to fix them, or to clean the barrel out. And the sandblasting, after a couple cases of paint, you got to get the thing re-sandblasted. I think it's the older ones were 10,000 cases or 10,000 rounds, something like that. That's a lot of rounds, but if you consistently shoot 2,000 rounds a game and you play a couple games a year, you're gonna have to get it re-sandblasted. So, having said all that, I would give the Apex roughly an 8 out of 10. It is a great barrel system that BT invented. Did a great job with it. I've used the Apex since it came out at different times, and I'm going to be using it again on my Tac-One. So definitely check it out. If you have any questions, please post in the comments. We're more than happy to come in and answer any questions you have about the Apex barrel, Apex versus Flatline, just different stuff like that. If you guys want to know things, just post in the comments like you always do, and we're more than happy to come in and help out. Check out our webpage, fearpaintball.net. Subscribe to our channel. And check out Flasc Paintball. They're our newest sponsor. Great barrels. FlascPaintball.com. We'll put those in the links there too. But other than that, we'll see you guys later. Tell your friends about us. Keep subscribing, and we'll see you on the field.